And welcome everybody to Casey Fields for this over 45 grand final here. Williamstown versus Box Hill. And there are Williamstown gentlemen getting ready, getting psyched, getting prepared for this massive grand final. We might just listen in and just hear some of the noise from this colour and action here today. Plenty of tape. And I reckon there might be a large amount of liniment rubbed into the large muscle areas of these players as the last preparations are about to occur. My name is Aaron Roberts. We've got a grand final. This is the first time the over 45s have had an opportunity to play in a grand final. Williamstown will be playing in the over 35s later today, and I can tell you this ground is in fantastic condition. However, that little bit of rain around today, so may make it a little slippery if that rain does in fact come. But it's been a great season so far. It's been a very even competition. Williamstown getting the top spot after the end of the home and around season, although it was very close, as we mentioned, because Box Hill North only just missed out on top spot by a very small margin percentage. But Williamstown had some big victories throughout the season. They did lose 2 games though, and their encounters with Box Hill was probably the most important thing. They had an easy victory over Box Hill earlier in the year, 67-32. And in the finals last week, it's a top 4 in the under 45 Super Rules competition here in Melbourne. And it was a semi-final 1, semi-final 2. So 1v4 and 2v3. So Box Hill finishing on second spot. They played Brunswick last week. Brunswick have been a good side throughout the season. They had a victory over Williamstown at one stage and a 44-18 victory. Whereas Williamstown made their way through the grand final against a team that beat them convincingly, Diamond Valley. And they won that match by just over 3 goals in the end, as the players still going through some lingering moments, ensuring that in the first few minutes of the game they don't pull a little hamstring or put themselves out. But I think you'll see the rhythm and the movement of the players will be certainly within the confines of their physical abilities, but they'll be more than motivated to try and win, as Nikolai's going through some motions there, maybe just describing a little bit of what's needed to be done for the players, a few of the rules. As we can see the wind in the background through the trees here at Casey Field. It will be blowing maybe a little to the right-hand side of the screen. We haven't had a coin toss yet, and we'll see that, I reckon, in a few moments. It looks like the umpire's got the coin in the hand. So it's a big grand final here. Williamstown versus Box Hill North, as the players just trying to psych themselves up mentally here. Certainly an interesting introduction, generally in slightly lesser age brackets, maybe over 30, 40, 35s. There's a coin toss. The players are running around and having a kick to kick. Now it's kind of been done already, but they're not kicking. So Williamstown will be kicking to a slight advantage in the first quarter. They're in the blue with the yellow sash, and they'll be keen to get started here well. Finishing on top of the ladder, Box Hill North in their red strip with their aggressive logo on their chest, as the players just get together for some last instructions from their coach, David Petterman. Box Hill coach, Andrew Crosby, I'd imagine, will be giving some instructions as well to the players as now they move into position. Sun just coming out here. We should be in for a classic grand final here. Really looking forward to this one. So the wingers there from Brandon Bandon, as well as Richard Willing. It certainly is picturesque conditions here at Casey Field. The ground, as we mentioned, drains really well as a rule, but there has been some rain, and there potentially could be a little more today. It's a fairly gloomy, overcast day here in Melbourne, as we finally have the action here in the grand final, the over 45s. As the ball is launched in the air, as we mentioned, Williamstown going to the right-hand side of the screen to begin with. Trying to get that one out is D'Amato for Box Hill North, and the ball's going to be held up. And you imagine that might be a bit of a factor throughout the day's play. Tap away, comfortably won with 2 fists by Hodges. Just moved up to half forward, just trying to win that one as Venor. He might go back again and try and pick it up. He can't. He puts his hand in the air, asking a question of the teacher. Well, the teacher's the umpire today, and he's going to come in and ball it up. Still a few players in the goal square. We might actually see this old-fashioned football in the over 45s. And there's a free kick here, and it'll go the way of Williamstown. So their first opportunity to move the ball into their attacking area. A lot of players around that contest. Was there a little push out? Still an opportunity for Williamstown as the ball's partly smothered. Just going out of the hands of Osberg. And it's cleared at this stage by Box Hill North. Fist on that one by Lagulio. Couldn't quite get it, and it's now into Arthur. He's going to just check it up, just kick to a 1-on-1 contest. The fist coming from Osborne. Now it's just running out towards Patch. He gets a shove in the back. The umpire, I think that one okay. It's just tapped further on by Johnson. Osborne again. A lot of Box Hill North players around the ball at the moment, and the umpire's found another free kick. So a second opportunity as the player just needs to bring that back over the player on the mark. So ball comes back here for Williamstown. No score here. 2 minutes gone here in the grand final. One lead comes out. Not quite within range. It's one of those ones, it's a bit deeper. This mark has been taken right in the square. And it's a very handy mark by Mark Brunato. And you imagine he's going to wheel around AFL style, and he kicks the first. So the Williamstown, they have an early goal here in the grand final. And it was the handy hands of Mark Brunato. You could see here on the replay, pretty obnoxious in the end, but just a little push out, just a bit of body work. That's all you need to get yourself in the advantage position. And he looks like a pretty tall, got a bit of length in him in. Nice celebration. Williamstown on the ball. So the first little insertion here is made by Williamstown. 3 minutes in, that'll just ease their nerves. I think they're kicking to a little bit of an advantage with the breeze going to that right-hand side. And at the moment, the play might be a fraction slow at times. Imagine the entertainment's going to be great. Decision-making is going to be fantastic. The ball just taking a while to get back to the middle of the ground. Right contest again. They've won another clearance, but maybe an opportunity here for Box Hill North. Often you want to stay on your feet, stay standing. It's a fisted away by Bosnenko. Now it's won it here by Williamstown. Just out the back of that pack. It's a good kick too. A really useful passage of play there. Brooks. Short option. Not too bad. Just falling in front of his man. A couple of players around that one. And a handball out was neat. And Patch, with his second touch, gets it into the middle of the ground. So foot race here as two players desperate for the football as the sun just eking its way through the clouds here. Box Hill with a couple of players on the defensive side of the pack, although that kick just scrubbed into the ground first. Maybe a drop kick. We might see some drop kicks, although these players aren't that old. They're not going to be using drop kicks. Trevor Lewis, he's calling for holding the football. He's not going to get that one. Not going to fool the umpires. You see this great contest here in the replay. A much bigger advantage there to the Williamstown player. A lot of players around the ball. It's going to be hard to get a clean possession here on this occasion. But for the second occasion in a row with these stoppages, Box Hill have just got a couple of players just on the defensive side of the stoppage, allowing them, if they can get their ball outwards, they're going to have a clear kick. But some good pressure by Williamstown. They've just been able to hold that one in. Nearly a push in the back as Vinor looks a little sore as he's on the ground. And the umpire's found a high tackle. So free kick here to Williamstown. Not sure who's got it. Might be Pagano. Holds the ball above his head. And now he decides just to chip the ball up to half forward. It's not the best option. It's a clever little chip off their mark and an opportunity to reset here for Box Hill Hawks. The North move it further afield, but another kick's been chipped off, but couldn't quite be clung onto. And a ball up. You just hear the noise here. Some fans here at Casey Fields. And the sun with the shadows of the players. Hope that stays that way for most of the day. Pagano chips it away. O'Neill tries to bust his way through the pack. He then handballs it out, but unfortunately the player he handballed to was on his knees. He may win a free kick here, so good umpiring. Giving it to the player that was endeavouring to get the football and was first to it. Amber Sakara kicks up to half forward. It's a one-on-one contest. That's great to see in modern day football. I don't always see that in the paid version. And a good little chip up to half forward. And a juggling mark taken by Vakano. He's had a few touches already. Charlie Pagano. A little bit of run from Williamstown. Probably the first real passage to play. Now there's a downfield. This is going to be an opportunity for Williamstown. The ball's in the hands of Horsburgh. And he's got a downfield free kick. And there's a little bit of infringement. Just seeing on the replay. Well, not quite called it, but possibly could have been at the kick. It was a sloppy play from the defender, but I don't know that this penalty was rewarded. However, Horsburgh is about 40 metres out. See the wind take that one, but it's bringing it back, but not far enough. It's a minor score. So 7:20. Williamstown with all the entries inside their forward 50 so far, and Box Hill North have only gone forward on one occasion. And I think that's possibly indicative of they're not quite got the flow going in their game, but also secondly, the wind is playing a factor. It won't be a high scoring game. I had to look through some of the other scores in the over 45s. It's been sort of 5, 6, 7 goal games. And if it's close, it might even be sort of a 4 or 5 goal game. So now it's kicked into the pocket. There's a one-on-one contest down there. Brunato tries to win it. He can't over the boundary line. The other little nuance of over 45, I should say, is no boundary umpires. So the umpire has to take the ball back into the field of play like they do in junior Australian rules football and throw it up. There's a stack of players around the ball. Maybe it's the fact that they can't be bothered running much further. They're a little tired already. And I reckon the cagey players would know exactly how much energy to expel in each little endeavour to get the football as the fist comes out from the ruck contest from Williamstown. A couple of players on their knees, but now a bit of a break in play. Some run out of defence for Box Hill North. A lot of one-on-ones up the ground, and that wasn't too bad an option as Trevor Lewis tried to win it. He's going to go back again. He's going to be up against Brandon Bandon. Well, that should be, I should say, D. Brandon Bandon. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. Quite a bit of a tongue twister. Now a bounce, so it gives an indication that the ground is relatively dry and pretty good nick, but just unable to get that extra possession going forward there, Box Hill North. They may have an opportunity. Just punched over the top. What is not goal? Up to half forward again. Now here's an opportunity. Solto, can he get up again? He's going to handball this off. No, he's going to kick it off. It's going to be another goal to Williamstown. Easy as you like. And look like Jarrett Hogarth with probably the easiest goal he will ever kick. It was a neat little handball here from Solto. We're going to see it here on the replay. Some run. Horsburgh in it again. A lot of space here, so defensive pressure. And what that meant, the defender from Box Hill North had to come out and apply some pressure. And because he won the football, Solto, he was able to handball the ball off to the man standing in the goal square, screaming for the football. And Jared Hogarth kicks it. So early stages, Williamstown 2-1-13 with the early advantage. to be busting his way through is Pangano. He's been a prominent individual so far in this game. Can Box Hill get a little bit of coherency with their play? Here's an opportunity. So this will be the first real forward 50 entry. The tap goes across the hands. Paznati, he looks like he's got a bit of length. He could be a dangerous player. Good 45 option, just holding it up. D'Amato kicks up to half forward. A great lead coming out by Brown. Brown couldn't quite win the football. The other number 2 is Brooks there from Williamstown. Brown goes back again in a tight pocket, screws it around. As he's made it, his teammate's probably going to run out of ground and over the boundary line, but a really good build up from the north there. Nice little entry into the 45. And then a quick play on, and they had an opportunity. Now they've got a stoppage. And by having this little throw up here, it brings it out probably another 5 or 6 metres than it would do from the boundary throwing. So Box Hill also have an extra player around this ball. Ruck contest, scrap forward, and a great defensive mark taken. And Williamstown will just hold for a moment. Kick out. There's quite a few players around that one, so that was an interesting one. D'Amato, Box Hill North. And the umpire said, no, we'll have another ball up, or should I say throw up. As we see the coverage over there. In fact, he's given it a free kick, so maybe it was, I might have missed that one. I might see that one on the replay. Now, kick comes in. Box Hill North with the advantage here. Well, the advantage is that man, Paznati. He looks like he's got a very competent set of hands. Into his right, into his left, juggling work. Great mark. Now he's going to go short. Now, he hasn't given his teammate a better advantage with the angle, but he has given him a numerical distance advantage. He's certainly closer. And here is Box Hill North's first shot on goal. Tighten the pocket. Now, in the last minute, he tried to hit up one of his teammates, but just didn't quite manage it. There wasn't a lot of movement, not a lot of leads, and a missed opportunity there for Box Hill North. It's at a high tackle. The umpire just called it play on, so Williamstown, they get it out of defence quite quickly. They move it forward. That kick just a little misdirected. Defenders back there will have to be clean with the football as it's won out by Flynn. He's kicked it out towards the boundary line, and that will be the winner today. And certainly got the most possessions at the moment. And that's probably meant that the field umpires have had to do the dual work of boundary and field umpiring, and that doesn't help him either. He's kicked it over his head. But that's okay. We've got to ensure that these players are able to keep through their anaerobic capacity for the day. So maybe the sneaky ways of just holding the game up. 13-0 here in the grand final. Over 45 action. Maybe some of these players would like to be under 45. Munor with a handball. Couldn't find a teammate. Out of bounds. We do have a ball person now, maybe someone who's carrying the water. As we back into the action again. Williamstown with the early advantage. Deluglio for Box Hill North. Might have been a throw. I think the umpire's on that one. He was. And a free kick here. We'll just see that. Here we go on the replay. A really good tackle. And that resulted in a free kick. So, in fact, actually, no, it's going back here to Nigel O'Neill. So, obviously, holding the person. Kicks those up to centre wing. Just in front of the scoreboard, indicating the lead at the moment for Williamstown. Good mark taken. Another kick and a disappointed Zanella. He wanted that one in his chest and he didn't get it. And unfortunately, it's missed the mark. So Williamstown out of defence here. Just attacking side, or I should say defensive side of half forward. Dangerous kick into the middle. Nearly a juggling mark taken. and dancing around and finding some spaces. Faulty kicks it up to half forward, but the numbers now with Box Hill and North have certainly just steadied, and they're getting a little bit more of the ball, and that's a great kick over the top. And it's found Trevor Lewis. Trevor Lewis plays on, kicks it up to half forward. Opportunity now. Can Box Hill North get a score? Defensive pressure applied there. Another really good tackle laid. Great play by Brown. And he's won a free kick for his endeavour and for his capacity to stay attacking the football. And we'll see this on the replay. Yeah, no disposal. Did not get it onto his foot, or did he handball it? So Brown with an opportunity now to get the response. And I can tell you, Box Hill North would feel a lot more confident if this one goes through the big sticks. 16 minutes in. They're 2 goals down. We imagine is a low-scoring match, probably against the run of play. And Lewis has it. I should say Ashley Brown has it. And Box Hill North, they managed to get a score on the board. So 1 goal to 2-1. You were to see this nice build-up. This kick here is good, because into a spot which is just past the defensive area. So over the top of that 30, 35, 34 metre. And this kick quickly turning on playing. But it was the effort, the tenacity of Ashley Brown for Box Hill North that won that free kick. So Box Hill with an opportunity to get one out of the middle of the ground and attack again. O'Neill's got it. Nearly a chest mark taken. They look a lot better now, the North. And it's going to be cleared for maybe only a minor amount of time. 2-on-2 contest here. And the umpire is pretty quick on the free kick here. And it's going to be one out here by Box Hill North. And they'll go forward again. Looking for their big full forward. Has he got a push out? He didn't get the call from the umpire. Tell you what, Paznati, he's looking like a very dangerous candidate up in that forward 50. And it's just been kept in here by Salto. He wins it back again, turns, tries to find a teammate. Look, it wasn't a bad option, but just didn't quite get the distance on the kick. Now it's to O'Neill. Some run from Box Hill again. That's probably the 3rd time. And nearly a mark taken. Not called by the umpire, maybe not controlled. Pretty close, a 50-50 decision, I reckon. And Williamstown just to the spectator side, where there's quite a few spectators here, enjoying the action here in the grand final. I'll tell you what, the players are going in pretty well at the moment. The early advantage to Williamstown, but Box Hill North have certainly had most of the advantage in the last 6 or 7 minutes. They've gone forward around about 7 times to Williamstown, probably once in the last 6 or 7 minutes. So another goal here, and they'll be very comfortable and very happy here at half-time, at quarter-time. And Resakara, he's found a teammate further afield. Looks like D'Amato. D'Amato into the right forward pocket. Finds Brown. Brown, clever from Brown. Gee, that's good decision-making. He didn't put it around the old box kick, as they call it in rugby. He decided to hold it up and went defensively and found a teammate. Kick goes in again. The dangerous Danella. He gets it across, nearly into the hands of Aja. Aja tries to win it. He's might be on the edge of this one again. It's going to be another goal here. Well, out of all of that, the easiest of goal for Box Hill North. And they'll be disappointed with that with Williamstown. We'll see on the replay. There's a good fly. And the dangerous Zanella, who seems to be around the pack a fair bit. Aja with a handball that nearly got his handball out. And just looking in the goal square with no one anywhere near him. And the Box Hill North boys have their 2nd goal on the board. So late in this first quarter, a late goal. They call it in red time. I think the whole game might be red time for some of these guys without being too disrespectful. A bit tongue-in-cheek. And will point the difference in the grand final. Still plenty of time left for both teams to get an advantage. I just have a sense that this is going to be relatively close. It is quarter time here to point the difference. Williamstown with the first 2 goals of the game. Horsberg and Ronaldo were the 2 players that did the damage, but then we saw Box Hill. Players just getting some advice, some drinks. I think the lollies come out at this stage. We might just listening to the coach here for Williamstown.
Got a lot more time to hit targets, so just panicking.
And so David Petty, I think, got instructions.
This is what grand finals are like. No one's going to hand us a grand final because we ended up on top. We're going to have to earn every kick, every mark, every contest. We have to learn. We have to earn. And you know what? I know the effort's there. I can see the effort. You know, but what we've got to talk about now is really just the composure once we get the ball. You know, hitting the marks. You know, taking a little bit of time, and sometimes it means not taking a little bit of time, but making those right decisions. The effort is there. Remember when we've been challenged before this year, and we have been challenged, put your memories back, and you know what we did? We dug deep. We dug deep, and you know what? We got more to give. I know we got more to give because I've seen it throughout the year.
Come on, let's go.
So let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Here it is.
Fellas, one thing you're doing, we're spreading this way, but the moment you get a footy, most of the guys, what are you doing? You're kicking it to where they're lining up. The ball is going right there, bring it to side.
Come on, listen up. Oh, there's the start, guys. All right, on ball is happy with the rotation, yes? Marco, talk to me. All right, keep going, all right? It's been good. Okay, there it is. Joe will do the, Joe and two Joes will match up, okay, in that department. One of the tools, I'll grab another tool, even if I have to grab Ash, it doesn't matter, but Joe and the other Joe can do it. Mark on the wing, Wacko again, do your rotation with Brett Hahn and Morris. Barney, 5 minutes, change with Hodge. Got that, all right. Andy, Salty, do the change. Fig Jam, I need you to change with Pony.
Yeah.
All right, don't need to go in too deep because that's where we need you in the centre. All right, Corey, Michael, Pony, Charlie, Anthony, Jacko. Marco, Keithy, Matty, Brett Arns and Morris. Okay, Greg, when the time comes, it will come.
I'm staying there, but we're not looking inside. Not just for me, anyone.
When we look inside, Chief, you've gone forward.
Yeah.
All right, don't go too far forward. Guys, keep the ball moving, we're doing well. Just make sure on the kicks, that's all. Just make sure on the kicks. Let's go out there, Come on.
Keep running.
All right, so David Pettingham there with the final instructions. Back to the action here, second quarter, grand final time. Williamstown, Box Hill North. It's a point, closest of margins. So 2 goals to Box Hill late-ish. One very late in the last 30 seconds. I think that was from Kazanati. Just have to confirm that one. Got one on the goal line very late. And there's a little push out from the defender there. So Williamstown. That's just not directed, and they talked a little about getting a little longer in their quarter-time chat. That was quite long enough. They talk a lot about in modern-day football. You need to kind of get to around 20-25 metres. If you don't get it deep enough, the small forwards don't play the role. If you get it too deep, the defenders are able to kill it or knock it over the boundary line or potentially punch it through. So that sort of 15 to sort of 25 metres is the key area to get those balls. As Daluglio getting whacked off that one. They've got some numbers around this ball, but that one's one out now, and that's a really clever kick. Just trying to find a team that got his eyes up. There's Williamstown just building here. Now the kick option was okay, but unfortunately it just didn't go the distance. Might be turned over here. Opportunity for the North. Goes around one. There's a man over the top, the handball it. This should be an easy goal here for Box Hill North. They get the early one. Box Hill North with the goal. We'll see on the replay, just some poor defensive work. Here it is. Now that there just needed to obviously hit the player. The option was okay. The outcome though resulted in a much easy goal here. And that's the second goal for Pazanati. He's having a good game. And he looks good when he's on the lead. And he'll enjoy getting a little sneaky goal there as well. So 2 minutes gone. They've already got a goal on the board. 20-minute quarters here. And now the advantage, 3 goals in the last 7 minutes from Box Hill North across 2 quarters. They have the advantage. Nearly a high tackle. The umpire was in a good position to decide that one's okay. Kick comes out to half forward now. He's not happy with something over here. There was a little hold. Have you seen that from where he was? He's done a very good job. You'll see it here in the camera. Now, I don't know how he can't play on from there. He's going to have to bring this one back to the kick it over the mark. That was a little cheeky. The Marthor looks like. He decides to go with a short option. Box Hill North just chipping their game further field. That's a clever mark. Just winning front position. It was Brown. Now there's one lead, and there's a second. Now there's a second lead here in the middle. If he can get it over the top here, he's going to be really good. And just not enough on it in the end. And a brilliant quality mark to take in there in defence for Williamstown. Here's a replay. Gee, that's a good mark. Nigel O'Neill, not a bad player. He's had a little bit of the ball already today, so that's an excellent defensive mark. So Williamstown just held up here. You can see the flooding with the Box Hill North players getting across and really playing a bit of a zone, and that's caused a turnover. Now the kick comes back forward again. Brown trying to win it. He can't get it. Tackle late. Just gets the handball away. Now he did get the handball away. Now the umpire said he didn't, and it will be a free kick. So we'll just see on the replay to see how accurate the umpire is. So Brown dropped it. Yep, looked like a handball. The umpire is in a good position though. He was just on the other side of that contest, but from our angle, and unfortunately there's not 10 umpires out there. We just had a different one. Look who it is. Robert Bazanati directly in front. I do like the way he kicks a football, and he's the difference at the moment. He's getting him on the leads, he's getting free kicks. He's getting little sneaky goals out the back. We'll see another replay here. It was nearly marked by Brooks. Well, benefit of the doubt, looked like a handball, but a good tackle nonetheless. And Paznati with a very comfortable goal, set shot 20 metres out. And they now have a very handy 11-point lead in what is still a tight game of football. But both teams very accurate, with only the one behind so far. Can they respond here, Box Hill? There's a scrubby kick. It's not bad. They're going to respond. Most definitely. Hogarth, he's got it. And he's directly in front as well. And it was that win out of the middle of the ground. So I've seen it a couple of times. A team that can win the ball out of the middle. As Hogarth will run in and kick this one, no doubt about that. Puts it over the Catley umpire. So they respond here, Williamstown. They get it back to 5 points. And it was that win out of the middle. Here it is there, the big thump. But there's just movement, running play. It was Paul Arthur. Talk a lot about you've got to keep moving when you don't have the football. And if you can have some momentum through the ball when you receive it or when you get it, get towards your goal, it's very difficult to defend. And you certainly got the advantage there. And Hogarth did a good job just getting in the right spot. Read the ball on the drop of it. And had no trouble in kicking that goal. So straight away, Williamstown get one back. The team that finished on top, but only played one once in the over 45, so I think around about 10 sort of games throughout the season. One final, so they're not playing a stack of games. It's probably as much as some of these bodies can take, but pretty fit, some of these blokes. D'Amato gets to about 45, kicks out to another leading player. He can't quite get it, just dribbles out in front of him. Williams again. Brown has a snap. It's clever from Brown because he found a teammate. Anaja. And Afrim Arja now, he's in the tight pocket. He's going to spin around, less loose checking, but it's just been held up in the breeze. And a really good defensive marker, not an easy one. That was floating around for some time. We'll just see this one. We do see the AFL players do that a lot. When I mean AFL players, I'm just describing the ones that get paid. That one's been rebound back again, and Basnati was in the goal square asking for the football. And unfortunately, couldn't quite get it to him in the minor score. So they're just holding up out here at East Cranbourne. Casey Field is looking very lush. Obviously well-maintained facility these days. It's for practice matches on it over the years. You're going to see some roll from the council here. Got it in good nick. And it's coped with the weather at the moment. Round. And it's just been chipped off here, so Williamstown will just repel and hold it up. So it's kicked out to centre half forward. It's dropping through the fingers of the Williamstown player there. He has a player further afield. He finds Horsberg's into the pocket. And it's rolling out in front of Hogarth. The man who's kicked a goal in this quarter. You'll see it on the replay. I think he actually was having a shot in the end. You just see the wind, and maybe the contact on the football, just pushing that one to the right. So we've got a ball up here. We think the wind is still kind of going to that right-hand side. Look, so the advantage towards Box Hill North in this quarter. Although Williamstown have got one against the flow of play. The punch out wasn't hard to talk. Now, there's a play on the ground here. I think this is going to be against him, so it's going to be a free kick here to Box Hill North. We'll see a little, was it a throw? Yeah, it was a throw. Didn't dispose of it. Good decision from the umpire. Good tackle. Seen some really good tackles so far. The value of the tackle is still a quintessential component of football, as Arthur has it. Dangerous kick from him, but he's got a very capable teammate in Salto. Salto looks up. He's about 70 metres out from goal. Decides to go. Now there's a little push there. Nearly could have been a hold out and a push there, and Hogarth, but not called by the umpire. They made a little bit more than what it was. Afrim Arja, he gets the ball now, and Box Hill North will try and reload. He decides to use a handball. He'll probably put his teammate under a little bit of pressure, but his teammate did ask for the football, so you're going to ask for it. You've got to do something with it. And unfortunately ran out a little bit of time. Williamstown up to half forward, a 1-on-2 contest, pulling at the best, but often if you just get the hands on the ball, get it to front and centre. And that sort of footy still works regardless. Just punched out of the fingertips of Salto. Williamstown still with some numbers around this one. Just turned around the corner from Bazunko. Still again an opportunity for Williamstown. An even better opportunity. Snapping around on his right. Booty, you just see the wind just pushing that one across to the right. And an opportunity, you could say, gone begging there for Williamstown. They've had a couple of good minutes here. They've been able to defend well. We'll just see this on the replay. It was a really neat bit of roving, but you've just got a bit more cover there. Michael Bazunko, I think that was. Good option. D'Amato. Now he decides to go the middle. Certainly been some aggressive play. Now that's right in front of the umpire. He's not happy with it either. It was a high tackle, but I don't think there was too much malice in it. And Fulty has the footy. He calms down. Now he just tips it up to half forward. No player can win the ball. Just tap forward as an extra Box Hill North player, one on his knees, is Kenny. The kick's not that great as Box Hill just fallen down with some of their movement at the moment. And that's a little push out here. I reckon that might be a free kick. It should be. And defensive work here. So ball goes across the face and some run here from Box Hill. Can they find their mojo again? It's been a topsy-turvy game with momentum kind of staying with the team for 5, 6, 7 minutes and then flying back to the other team again. So when you've got it, you've got to ensure that you score. Steve Smith style. Once you're in, make some runs. Handball ineffective and out of bounds. Great to see an opportunity for Williamstown Box Hill to play in a grand final, as we mentioned earlier. This is the first time that we've had a deciding match. And we've got the under-35s coming up later today. Williamstown are in that game too. Campbell away. Looks like Kenny. Kenny chips a further ball upfield. No one can win that one down there for Box Hill. Might have been cooking there. Now, is there going to be a bounce? We've seen a couple of bounces already. Some dangerous figures there of Hazanati. And he's got another free kick. Well deserved too. He's in the front position there. Actually nearly marked that football. He had an opportunity. Right, I'm not 100% sure why he got the free kick. Ducking and weaving. And Williamstown got a player here, so just need a hold and chip, but that's a good decision. It's steal another play here. They've actually got two. Oh, well, what's going on there? He's taking the ball off his teammate. Now the kick goes further up. Good defensive punch. Now it's just lurking into the hands of Bazonko. And a great mark taken. Climbing up high was Horsburgh. He quickly plays on. The mark's been dropped. It's going to be an opportunity now for Williamstown to line up for goal. Another opportunity just missed for Williamstown. And a minor score. It was a really good mark from Horsburgh. Still had plenty of time to have the shot on goal. Maybe some perceived pressure from behind. And a minor only. 4 points of difference here in the grand final. Kick goes out. Mark's taken. Now we've got a bit of bounce run. Probably could have had another bounce. Kazanati, he can't get it. Tries to go back again. Fist out then. In the hands is a good option. Kick is okay. Now they've got some numbers here on the side. Yep, there's a handball, and there's probably another option short. Good play here as the game's opened up a little bit. Not sure if that's just some better play from Williamstown, better position, or maybe a little bit of fatigue for both teams. Good contest there at half forward. Nearly one in the hands of Arja. And then it's going to Brandon Mander. And getting up last is Jared Hogarth. Wrestling in the ruck contest as Williamstown pump the ball towards their attacking side. And another whistle from the umpire. It's going to be a free kick here in defence. So Pash now has it. No one on the mark, so he just decides to play on. You see the wind just bring that ball back towards the field of play. Defensive punch there by D'Amato. And he got the player in the defender there in his face, out of bounds. It's just with their hands and their hip. We've got about just over 5 minutes left here in the first half of the grand final. Starting to feel maybe a little bit of fatigue. As I mentioned, they only play around about 10 games throughout the season, so it's not a lot of football. Or that match fitness, I suppose, but it's much fun, but there's plenty of passion out there at the moment. It's been a really good quarter of football. It's probably opened up a little bit for both teams and had a little more passion to play. And that's gone one way, two ways. Needs to get rid of a handball. Couldn't quite get it. May have just got his fist on it, but took too long. It's an excellent tackle. Yeah, and there's a little shovel throw out in the end. Free kick here to Box Hill North. Kick's got some elevation. Goes up high. Nearly marked by Horsburgh. Goes to ground. Tries to tap the ball further along, as is Arthur. That's good. Pick up off the ground. That's a high tackle. Good call from the umpire. Going to be free kick here to Box Hill North. So the play slowly spreading after that little contest and a free kick here, just inside the defensive 50. Now that kick's okay. There's plenty of space over there. The mark's been taken here by the defender for Box Hill North. Now they've got 3 players out here. They just need to get their eyes up, and the kick's accurate. Now that's going to be a free kick now. It's called play on. It could have easily been a free kick. Arthur in towards goal. Swings away from the goals. Unfortunately, just not quite reading that breeze. It's kind of going from pocket to pocket at the moment. The left forward pocket, if you like. Maybe even a little bit further around. Fine leg, if you like. And you can see the ball really turning in the breeze, but defensive kick hasn't found its mark. And play on here, kicks up further field, and reaching up and grabbing that one. Here's a forward for Williamstown. Short option isn't a bad option. Gee, nearly reaching into that one was Hogarth. Couldn't quite get it. And it's now come out here. He has it for Williamstown. He turns, plays on. Goes up towards half forward. Tremendous mark, taking over the pack. Has a bounce. Looks up again. Secondary bounce. This could be a real goal. Wobbles it through. That is magnificent running goal and a returning response from Box Hill North. Well, you love seeing a running goal at any stage, but in a grand final, they're worth a lot more, particularly the game is a little low scoring, a 10-point leading for Box Hill North. We'll see this one of the replay. So here's the chip kick. Firstly, was a really good contested mark. Nearly lost the ball there. Second bounce, looked for the handball at the last minute. He did have a teammate out there in D'Amato. Didn't pass it to him, didn't matter. It was a fantastic finish. And that's probably the play of the day so far. So 18 minutes gone here, nearly. And entertaining stuff. Just have to be careful here, Williamstown, because 2 kicks at the moment. I want to set a low-scoring game. And they've had plenty of the football and they've had plenty of opportunities inside their forward 50 to maybe get another couple of goals on the board in this quarter. They'll be a little disappointed, I imagine, at half-time. So a late goal here for them would be ace. However, Box Hill North get another one and they've got an opportunity. The ball's just juggled, and unfortunately juggled over the boundary line. So just want to make sure that, I suppose at this stage with 1:30 left, Williamstown ensure that they don't get a goal scored against them. There's 6 players inside that forward 50, one-on-one contests. We've seen majority of one-on-one contests throughout. A couple of times it looked like there was a bit of a zone, but it might have been just more fortuitous than anything. The wind is still playing a factor. And Williamstown will have their opportunity in this next quarter. And they've held this up well at the moment. David Kenny tapped out past him. Kick goes out towards the boundary line. Now, the umpire might have called this not disposing of it. He's had a couple of these. I reckon on each occasion they've been a little 50-50, maybe a fraction unlucky. As much about the fact that he's on the wrong side of the contest. So it's really hard to see through play. So dangerous times here for Williamstown. They don't want to concede another goal. It's gone towards the hands of Hosberg, who's gone back in defence. And there's a juggling, a very elusive bit of play. Tell you what, Paznati, he's had a good game, and there's on the replay to show him again. He'll show that one a few more times once he sees the game. Kick goes forward again. Nearly juggling, nearly the mark taken by Zanella. He couldn't quite get it into his hands. A high tackle though, not called by the umpire. Tackle and then laid by Keith Fab. That is the siren. It is half-time here in the grand final. It's a 10-point lead. As you see, the last little opportunity here. Just a defensive punch. Nearly into the hands, but it's been a great half of football. Williamstown with the early advantage with a couple of goals, but Box Hill North came back and kicked 2 late in that first quarter and kicked an early goal in the third to get that advantage out. Well, we've got some vision now. It's second half action about to start here in the grand final. As we see Williamstown, the Seagulls. And they're having a little chat and conversation. There's their coach, David Panetto, and others. I should say Peteton and others there. Trying to give some encouragement as the camera leads the players out onto the ground. Getting a real feel of the action there, and a few of the supporters here at Casey Fields Oval. It's grand final action as we turn to see the Seagull boys coming back onto the ground. There are 10 points in the arrears at the moment. A Box Hill North, who are led by Pazzanati.
Make smart decisions.
And also probably Graham Brown, I thought, played a good game. D'Amato did well. Aja had some touches. Ashley Brown, Nigel O'Neill. And they're able to win the ball quickly out of that sort of middle part of the ground. They had some nice run, but at the same time, Williamstown looked dangerous. Here's Hogarth up forward. Hosberg also having a good game. Salto, I thought, played well, the number 5. The wind will advantage slightly to the right, as has done all game, as thrusting through the pack. It's D'Amato, He couldn't quite get it away, but then he gets a handball off to O'Neill. Box Hill North go forward for the first time in this quarter. We're only moments into this one. An opportunity, that one slung out of the tackle. And he relieves it for now. Basnati. Tight. Very tight in the pocket. Puts it high into the air. Very high into the air. Going to be a tough one to mark. That is a fantastic grab. I wouldn't want to be under that one for too long. In the swirly breeze here, in what is hardly challenging conditions on any occasion. And he finds Salter deep in defence. Chips further afield. Fulty. Handballs off. Nice bit of pass to play here. And this might just pop out the back here for Williamstown. It nearly rolled towards Corey Heaps, but it couldn't quite pick it up from him. But still a further opportunity here. Just needs to reach down and grab hold of the football. Was on call. When he finally did, he had a lot of pressure on him. Now there's a high tackle, and they're probably trying to call that one. Now that's been called by the non-officiating umpire, so a free kick here. Let's have a look at this one on the replay. He had a long time to try and reach down that one, Michael. Was on call. And there's a free kick, that one there. Slapping right in the chops. Like the hamstring was about to go there. Waits, then he decides to handle. Didn't quite hit the target. That player there just dropped the football. It may have been just scragged without it. Now there's a couple of players from Williamstown just inside here. Just need to get the handball away, but Osborne gets it back here for Box Hill North. His kick not that effective. And it's been won out by McGetty. He goes wider afield. Trying to find Campagna. He can't get it. Knocks it back again. Diamara. And it's cleared, but maybe not for long. Ball's dropped by Lucas. Lucas tries to butter up, can't get it. Dancing and weaving and trying to find a little network through that one. That's a clever kick, but just chopped off just in front of Ashley Brown. Brown goes back again. He's got the tackle laid by Pagano. And the umpire will come and ball it up. So early stages, nearly 3 gone. Big stakes in this over 45s grand final. Williamstown versus Box Hill North. Casey Fields Oval. My name's Aaron Roberts. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Hopefully some good memories here. Little push out. That was good by Ashley Brown. Now, he hasn't played for a kick for that, has he? Well, he's signalling it as he does. We'll have to see that on the replay before we get too concerned with it. And I think David Brooks looking for a pass there. He's like, can't get on there. But we haven't got a replay on that one, but it looked like it was the old Ticky Touchwood. But an opportunity here for Box Hill Hawks to have the first score on the board in the second half. They don't. Misses everything besides the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick here to Williamstown. Maybe a fair result in the end, as that one didn't quite look to me in live motion as a free kick. Clever defensive mark, then a handball off. But just that win taking the ball again. Out of bounds. 10 points difference. One of those lovely new modern scoreboards we see around the place, which someone operates on the computer. Sounds a little boring than the old coming out and standing in the outer, moving those little bits of tin with the numbers on it, trying to rummage around and find the right numbers, ensuring you've got the correct calculations. It's all made quite easy these days. And I bet you what, 30, 40 years ago, when these guys started playing junior football, they would have loved to run around on such a great oval with a pumped up football. Williamstown moving the ball forward. Good one-on-one contest. And Jared Hogarth again takes another good mark. He decides to kick up. I think he was, well, I'm assuming he was having a shot on goal. Didn't make the distance. He was punched through for a minor score, but just lacking a little bit of drive in his kicking there. And making sure maybe his hamstrings are intact. But look at this mark on the replay. Just a little push there. He worked his defender under the ball very nicely. He got that little advantage to allow him to take them up. Now, as that kick was a little wide, and now they've turned it over Box Hill. So, Charlie Pagano, he will have it. He'll have a free kick. Or is it a free kick? Actually, he just bounced just inside the line there. So the umpire's going to have a ball up. It's going 50 metres out here. So dangerous times. 9 points of difference. It's been a pretty even start here in the first 5.5 minutes in this second half. Punch comes down from Renato. Now it comes into the pocket. Swirling around there is Horsburgh. Now the umpire's found another whistle, and look who it is. Hogarth has it. It'll be around 35 metres out from goal. It is a defensive, well, I should say, it's kind of the defensive side of the ground, but the way the wind's going, it's probably the best spot to be kicking to. You need to aim it, let's say, to the right goal post, so that should swing the ball back. Let's see what he can do. It's wobbly. The umpire hasn't liked it. In fact, the goal umpire, I don't even think he even made a massive, he had massive interest in that one. It's out of bounds on the full. Just wobbled off the boot. So, I mean, it's not that easy to kick in Australian rules football. Not that easy when it's windy. Even when you're a little older, I can tell you what, it's probably not that easy either. Well, the tallest player in the field just got beaten there. And that's a fantastic mark taken there from Box Hill North. Kick goes up further afield. Yeah, you can just see Robert Fasanati just pointing the finger exactly where he wanted the football. Just a couple more metres, just to my right-hand side. That's where I want it. He didn't get it, it's out of bounds. Yeah, he's just having some discussions with the umpire. All good stuff here. It's a 9-point lead here, as you see on the scoreboard. 3-4 to 5-1. Just a few movements of players or some alterations in where players are starting at the moment. So, and then Pasnati is in the ruck at the moment. Actually might even be playing as a bit of a follow-up. Williamstown up to half forward, now up to the full forward position, looking for Hogarth. He couldn't get it. They've still got an opportunity. Just shoved off the side of that one was Heaps, and a pretty desperate tackle now. A really good contest, and they can't separate them, so the umpire will have a ball up. To see here, there's 3 players here on the defensive side on the right-hand side of the screen of this contest here. So to get it out there, they can easily clear this. Now he's about to clear this again because we've got players who are facing their goal. Really simple stoppage work down it. They've got it set up nicely at the moment, Box Hill Hawk, and that's probably part of the reason they've got a small advantage at the moment. Just there, set up at stoppages, a little bit more run off that area too. Their players have got their hips and bodies facing the right direction to see the ball. But on that occasion, it's worked out. Dragged it back in. There's the old-fashioned drag back in and pretend to handball it away. It could only be one thing in holding the football. That rule came in probably about a decade ago. Probably been one of the better ones, although it's difficult to sometimes officiate, particularly if the opposition player tends to drag it in and blame you. So just defensive side of centre wing. There's a long drop punt. Pasnati tries to get front position. The ball's just been knocked out. He'll go back again. He took his teammate out with his boot there. It's a fairly large size as well. Now Williamstown with some run. They look all right this quarter when they've got a bit of run, but just been unable to find their targets. Their hand passing options have been really good. The movement has been really great. Unfortunately, they can't handle to their teammate, or their teammate certainly can't gather it in the windy and slightly slippery conditions. So a few opportunities to move the ball forward, just been missed out in the ruck contest. The hands at top of Bonato, and he's given away a free kick. A lot of free kicks today. I'm not sure what the count is. I don't think there's been any major issue with the umpire. A few ticky-touch ones which have gone one way, gone the other, and maybe this one actually is going to back to Bonato. Yeah, he's going to get it back. That was a loud call from Dalmara. He didn't get it, and it's gone up the line to a very big pack of players. Not to anyone's advantage. Now there's on their knees. And well, the umpire's called a free kick up. I can only imagine he's called that for dragging it in. Let's just see this one. Now he goes to his knees there. Has he made an attempt? Well, he's got the ball caught up between his legs, and he tries to roll over and get possession of it. That's a tough call, I reckon. Kick goes further field, but it's gone out of bounds. Diazikos there. If I pronounced that one right. Just knocking that one over. Right contest again. Arthur on the edge of that one, goes past him. Ball's just being released out the back. Williamstown now have possession. They go up to half forward. Defensive punch worked away and the ball's back in towards the middle there of Casey Fields Oval. Now what's the umpire calling? Here, holding the ball. See it? Maybe. I'm umming and ahhing, maybe. I kind of think sometimes when the old wet weather days, you just gave players the advantage or I suppose the discretion sometimes with marks. I reckon sometimes you give the discretion to what we might call the elder statesman of the game. Give them a little bit more time to get rid of the football, just to adjudicate to the pace and the rhythm of the players, as the really good junior football umpires do. So certainly a lot of blowing of the whistle at the moment. Umpires wouldn't say are imposing themselves, just calling a lot of sort of 50-50 ones. Kick goes in on his knees, can't try and win. There's a little bit of scuffle here just on half forward. Now it's one out by Ashley Brown. Brown goes in towards the half forward line. Hasnati diving. Ball hits the ground, can't get it. Taps the ball further. He's got two players to beat. He's having a little bit of a wrestle with that defender. Trying to work the ball now out is the coach, Pettinan. And he just steadies the ship. And a bit of frenetic football there. As we see a few players. There's a little contest down here in the replay. Just having a cuddle, surely. Now, is this going to be holding the football? The umpire's there, so it's going to be ball up. So 12 minutes gone. It is a really entertaining game of football. It's been a great grand final here at Casey Fields Oval. We hope you're enjoying it. And some good memories for these players. Just knocked off a little bit too easy. Box Hill North. But I tell you what, the person who's probably going to get the votes today, or the best player on the ground, is going to be the boundary line on that side of the ground. It's going to be again, is it? Well, they're calling it. It's a fair way from our action here, and it is. It's hard to sort of call out of bounds on the full at times if you're fielding up and you're around about 40 metres from the ball, but I think generally the players are fairly okay in that one. Kicks up to half forward, just in the front position. And a nice take mark there by Pagano. Pagano now just whacks on the boot, goes over the top of Brown. Just trying to push and shove. On the edge out one is Magetti. And a ball up. So it's been a little more of a pragmatic approach to the quarter so far. We saw a couple of early goals for Williamstown in the first quarter. And we saw Box Hill come back, kick the next three. Sort of went back and forth as Williamstown had the advantage in the early stages of that second quarter. Box Hill did then get a couple. They got a bit of a lead out. Williamstown then came back and we had that 11-point half-time lead. Now it hasn't really progressed since then, as neither team has been able to manage to get a 6-pointer here in this second half. It's hard to sort of say which team's got the advantage at the moment. I'd actually say Williamstown have probably had a few more inside 50s and just been a little bit more composed, but at the same time the ball has been over the other side of the ground away from us for nearly the whole quarter, as we've seen the weather conditions and maybe the fitness and the intensity of this game. And I'm sure it's an up and a level higher intensity than we've seen in the roster matches, and the players are feeling it at the moment. Big fist, but once again, defensive side of that contest is where the defenders are, as Haja gets that one out. And there's some really good body work there. Paznati looks up further afield. He's going to chip the ball. Not a bad option. Yes, reaching up high, O'Neill. O'Neill's in the pocket. This is a nearly impossible spot to kick a goal, I would have thought, with his wind. He's probably going to put it up. It's going to kind of bring it back out towards the teeth of the goals, if you like. So he just puts it high. Gee, look at that hold up and trying to reach up. That was Vinor. He couldn't get it. He knows, goes back and tries to get the football again, but the umpire red hot calls the ball up. And there's 5 players. You see a little replay here. This is this very nice patch to play in the build-up. There we go. They're actually covering them, so defenders have covered that. There's that running through. Charging through was Lewis. On his knees trying to win the football. Here's David Brooks and another ball up. You see the set up of this contest again. There are a couple of players on the defensive side. They're manned up mostly though, the Box Hill North defenders, or I should say attackers. Just the ball eluding the forwards at the moment for Box Hill North. Points, not a lot, but it feels a long way, particularly as we haven't seen a goal scored in this quarter. Sakira trying to reach up, he's gone back into the ruck. Just slowing up proceedings here. On the ball, Nigel O'Neill. Sakira spinning out, trying to win that one is Brooks. Just hacks the ball further out. It might not get that far. Could be defended here nicely by Des Arcas. Chipped handball. Box Hill Hawks with an opportunity. Just fumbling the football. Need to be clean in these circumstances. It's a little bit of moisture on the football, just not helping the players at the moment. Trying to run through the pack and to deliver that one is Footy. Doesn't get it that far. It's not really cleared here. Box Hill North still had the numbers. Charging through, winning that one, a defensive handball out, but it's only going to find the boundary line, and there are only Box Hill North players there, so probably not a bad result there for Williamstown. And they hang on at the moment. I reckon it's been about 4 or 5 minutes since Williamstown have been able to get that ball past the halfway mark. And they've got that advantage with that breeze at the moment, so they want to get this at least back to level, close to level. Now they've been okay against the flow and against the run to the left-hand side. Both teams, in fact, have been okay, so maybe the wind isn't playing such a factor out there. Remember Sakira, once again getting in a really good position in the ruck. And Box Hill North come back again, kicking up towards a half forward. Nearly the mark taken. Couple of blows of the whistle, so Williamstown with their first opportunity, a really good opportunity, and it's found the hands of Jared Hogarth. He's had multiple opportunities, a pretty hard man to match up on. And he's got a player at the back here, but I think he's probably going to have to go back and have a shot. There's a player in the goal square, not looking that confident, but the kick on its way, gee, it needed to be about another 5 or 6 metres to the right in the natural movement and the action of that kick from Hogarth. Pushed it to the left and about, what should say, minor score. So at least a score here for Williamstown. Can they keep the ball in, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, but there's only just over 2.5 in this quarter left. The momentum seems to stay with the team, the possession seems to stay with the team for 4 or 5 minutes at a time. And they're going to go back again here, Williamstown, just stopping, propping, kick up to half forward, it will be an easy mark. I think it's Bazonko. I just have to see this one again. As a replay, just see this really good decision making. Firstly, holding up and then looked up, got his head up. And that's clever stuff. So, Williamstown. Sure on that one, he stops. Really get a good indication of the breeze at the moment. Just swirling around here. A deliberate looking approach. 40 metres out, good contact on the boots. Just going to hold up inside. Still an opportunity though for Williamstown. There's a lot of Box Hill North players around the football, but it's still not cleared here, so the run is on. Swinging, dancing, handball out by Girardi. Now there's a shot on goal. It's been partly smothered off Horsberger's boot. Defensive work coming behind the Avignon. They've got a lot of defensive pressure being applied here, Box Hill North. They just need to get a couple of extra players down there, Williamstown. Trying to help out some of their other forwards with 20 seconds to go. They'd love a goal here to finish off this third quarter. With an 8-point deficit at the moment, and with potentially the scoring end for Box Hill North here coming up. They've got a bit of work to do. And there it is, so it's 3-quarter time. Neither team managing to score a goal in that quarter. It was a tight, tough and attritional-based game of football. It is pretty standard grand final material. And 8 points. And we're going to just get the camera in there to the huddle. And here's some of the words. 3/4 time, as the dream is still alive for both these teams.
Doesn't matter, we'll come back down that side, but bring it in if it's
burn a kick. Exactly.
But 4 times we've gone down that side, 4 times we've gone out in the full.
No playing
get it across the other side
guys,
of the
we're
ground.
attacking. Yeah, we all understand. We attack. It's attack, attack. I'd rather go down by 5 goals than 8 points, yeah? Yeah. It's a grand final. Let's go for it. Take chances. Let's go.
Let's do it.
History, boys. History.
Come on.
Come on, boys. History, boys.
Have a crack. They're starting to step out of the way. The ball's getting slippery.
We said that they'd run out of legs, exactly.
They're starting to. They're starting to. We're the desperate side.
There it is.
Kick packs.
There it is. All right, Barney, you right to start again, Barney?
Yeah, mate.
All right. Ian, Pearson, yourself, Joe, Wolf, and Brooksy, all right? Back 6 done well. All right, we held them down. Okay? Mark, Barney, Andy, Salty, Hodgie in the guts there. Corey, Big Jam, you're going to be part of the rotation now with Marco and Charlie. Okay? Tony, you do a good 10, 12 minutes, okay? And then the boys will change it later on. Matty Drake, there we are. Okay? When Barney's had enough, Barney, Matty Drake. Right, you're going to go off. Hodgie goes in the right, Barney goes full pocket. We understand that, right, Barney? Hodgie? All right? I'm sure Marco and the other boys, the rest of you just said enough. What's going to happen now?
Don't leave it here!
We don't leave it here. Always sit.
Last 20!
Come on, keep our heads up, mate. And we fight to the end. We have got 20 minutes. 20 minutes to do something that's
Come on, give it your all! Come on, let's get some
we're going to walk off here as winners. We understand that, guys?
Yeah.
We're going to walk off here as winners.
Come on! Come on!
Got that, guys?
Yes, come
I
on.
don't need to say anything, guys. We just got to win. Just got to win.
Well, David Petterton then trying to rouse his troops up. And the drizzle is coming down. It's going to be contested, tight, tough last 20 minutes. Who's going to win the grand final? We're going to find out. And the first breakout is by Box Hill Hawks. Trying to run the ball out towards Brown. The boot's been laid into that one. Just get it out of that area. They're down by a couple though, Williamstown. You heard from them at 3/4 time. Attack. Doesn't matter. We lose the game, but we've got to keep attacking. Otherwise, we're going to fall out of this one. Harja releases it. Uses his hands. Kicks up to half forward. Just pushed off that one. Now that could be a free kick, and it probably should be a free kick there for Renato. And he gets up pretty sore and sorry for himself. He's had a pretty good game so far. Wiping his hands. It is getting a little wetter here. Well, it didn't really reach anyone at the end. The fist coming through from Osberg. Didn't quite get to it. It just fell forward. So that Bree's still advantaging to the right-hand side. Running onto this one. Here's Brad Bander. He can't get it. Oh, gee, there's a tackle. Oh, that's a big tackle. That's going to be high. Definitely high. The umpire's right there. Kind of leaped onto him. There it is. That's fantastic. The energy is still going at the moment, but both these teams are going to need it. And Williamstown want to try and find an avenue towards goal because they struggled for most of that second quarter to find a way. They had a bit of a patch in the middle where they had a little bit of the momentum. The last sort of 2 minutes they had down their end, but Box Hill just feel that they've got some energy and momentum going their way at the moment. It's knocked in towards their forward pocket. Petterton's there first. Make sure it goes over the boundary line. There's some of the players of the future. Have a little kick around there on the hill. We're just trying to keep on the play. Plenty of people here watching the game. Huddle just under us and around us. Ensure that they're kept nice and dry. Reaching down was Ashley Brown. Then he slung around and gets a handle away. What's I'm going to call here is, I'm going to say he didn't have the football. Or potentially was slung in the tackle. So O'Neill will very slow to go back and get the football and wander back and set things up again. Now the ball's launched up into that pocket. Just being pushed out of that one. As Gaznati is looking at that dangerous. Oh, here's an opportunity. Kicked high and goal. Just floating to the left. And a minor score. Now defensive work here. It's a really good contest as a couple of players try to reach in, try and win the football, holding it up. Good use of hands. Brooks goes up to half forward. The umpires found another free kick. You can hear the yeah from the crowd. Looks like it's going to be a Box Hill North free kick here. So kick just missing the mark. Now there's a player up further afield. Just need to get the ball in the air and try and find Lucas. Lucas couldn't get it. Cook and Kenny. Kicks up. D nearly got it. That's going to hurt if he gets one in his hands early. In a dangerous position to have a throw in. 4 minutes gone here in the grand final in the last quarter. 16 minutes left in both these teams' season. One team will have a better off-season if they can manage to get this victory. This over 45s clash. It's been a great game of football. It's been slippery, it's been breezy, but it's been entertaining nonetheless. Now there's a bit of pushing and shoving here. It's pretty aggressive stuff. They want a free kick. Are they going to get it? Yes, they will. Here we see on the replay. Didn't make an attempt. Though at the same time didn't really have possession of the football. But the onus is on the player on the ground to try and do something with it and couldn't quite. Now that kick comes out, it's just gone over the top, unfortunately. And chipping back across, so Box Hill will just hold it up here. Kenny saying, I'm going to go long. Awkward kicking action. Kind of skewed off the face of his boot. You go to your knees at this time of the game. Williamstown trying to get that one, and roving that one is Salto. Gets a bit of space. Now some run from Williamstown. The kick is a little ill-directed. Osborne's got it. Just on half back. He plays on. Williamstown will relaunch again. I should say Box Hill North will relaunch again. But it's been chipped off. So back and forth at the moment as both teams just making a few errors with their, not so much their decision making, but more just their execution. We've really seen that a little bit throughout the day. Now some run. Hogarth, he couldn't get it. He's going to pick it up now. And he gets whacked off the football. Just popped out the side. Williamstown will go inside their forward 50. Kicks up towards the right forward pocket. Can it stay in? No, can't. Out of bounds. They need a goal here, I reckon, Williamstown. Just feel that they a bit of momentum their way. Some confidence that they can score at that left-hand side of the screen. They have got to go that way. And we saw Box Hill North in the last quarter had plenty of the play in that quarter. Hogarth coming through. Hogarth again. Nearly to Wazonko. Tapped out by D'Amato. Nearly a push in the back. Nearly a lot of things. But it is out of bounds. So throw in here, a crucial moment of this game. Williamstown with a contested situation. Limping there just at the back of that pack. Be really interested to see how they set up here. Just landing on his leg, that's a little nasty. So left-hand side of this contest is, well, they've been manned up a little bit, but certainly advantage there for Box Hill North. There's a quick snap out of the pack. Don't tell me. Oh, that was very close. Looked like Pangano. That looked to be on track for a goal. Would have been a fabulous start. And we'll see this one on the replay. You see a little bit of classy punk into the post. So unlucky miss there for Williamstown. We haven't seen too many opportunities out of that sort of contested area. The kick comes in, so a little bit of confidence here, a little bit of momentum for the Seagulls. They come back again. Hogarth can't get it. The ball's being whacked along the ground by Flynn. Flynn will go again, reaches down, can't get it. Is that a push in the back? The umpire's not going to blow his whistle for that. He's going to blow his whistle for a ball up. Things are going back towards Williamstown, but still haven't been able to get that elusive goal. In fact, no team has been able to get an elusive goal here in the second half. Neither player winning it. Hogarth maybe just got his hand on it. But a lot of players are coming in around this football. There's not much you can do really. Either you've got a little bit of pace or maybe a quick handle out, but it's really hard to break these contested, congested even situations on a footy field. Hogarth missing with his fist. And out of bounds over in front of Salter. Just the intensity is there, the energy is there, commitment is there. O'Neill, Brown, two players that have been pretty consistent throughout the day of getting some touches. And on his knees again is Charlie Pangano. And another throw up here. We've had a lot of the football. Maybe they had to set the camera and everything up over there. We've seen the action would have been in touching distance for most of the game. But I think this is the better spot with the broadcast side of the ground. Zoltol nearly winning it. Now the umpires, has he blown a whistle there? No, go past Nigel O'Neill. Tighten the pocket, tighten the corner, but nowhere to go. And results in another one of those boundary throw-ups. So nearly halfway through this last quarter, we have not seen a goal in match time for 35 minutes. So quite incredible. And the rain has had an impact, and it's a free kick. You just feel, I've seen a lot of grand finals, I've seen a few that have been wet in many different competitions. They always stay close, and it has done. Punched out, not one then, by Heaps. Tackle laid. Flynn in there as well. They're going to have a throw. Just the opportunity. Opportunity. They just need something here. A bit of magic. Who's it going to be? Maybe it might be Salto. He screws it back around the corner. Mark taken. Well, ever the opportunist. He's had a pretty good game too, Horsburgh. And he's going to be lining up directly in front. Got to play in front in these conditions. Particularly into this breeze, and this is massive. To keep Williamstown very much in track for this grand final. He's done it. What a game we've got. Andrew Horsburgh, I think he's got a couple. Well, actually, in fact, that's his first. And the fourth on the board for Williamstown. It's 2 points the difference. We'll see this on the replay. Quick kick out of the pack. We're talking about at the moment who was going to be the X factor. There was about 3 or 4 minutes of congested football. The boundary line was the most prominent thing on the ground. Needed to be a little bit of magic, something out of the ordinary. And there was a quick kick out of the pack. And a player standing in front of his defender got the ball into his chest and then delivered on a goal. 4-6 to 5-2. It's 2 points. What a beauty. Box Hill Hawks win that one away. Arthur was running beside that one. The umpire's called that hold in the football, so they're going to play on here. Maybe will Box Hill North respond again? It goes up towards their forward 50. Great contest down there. It's 2v2. They're calling out for hold in the football. The umpires are having none of it. As the captain coach, David Bettman, he's in the action. He's deep in defence at the moment. He'll have a role to play. He's been a really good defender at different stages when he's been down there. Kick doesn't quite make contact. This is dangerous though. working, dodging. Kenny couldn't find his left boot, decides to go short, then he gets knocked off the football. Box Hill Hawk, they have an opportunity now. The umpire called that one downfield, necessarily an advantage, so probably should have gone back to where, well, maybe it's a bit of an advantage, slightly, well, a little closer to goal when he kicked it, but this kick is a little straighter, I suppose. So Box Hill North, a little too far out to score, possibly. Kick goes on, it's wide, over the top of the pack, there's a ruckman, kick high, it's gone across the face of goal. Might have just snuck in for a point. Frantic stuff, 3 points. What a climax of this over 45 season. Great advert for having a final. And let's hope it continues. Very much a tradition of Australian rules football and probably sport in Australia in general. Do you like a grand final? Not much into whoever finishes on top of the ladder, which is World Football Association football, the way they play it. We love a final. It's been a pretty quick final series with the old-fashioned semi-1 and semi-2, which is 1v4 and 2v3. So, I mean, obviously, a big advantage if you, well, not a great advantage if you finish fourth, other than the fact that you play the top team. But in a shortened season, I can understand why they went that way. Now, just coming out the back of this one is Brooks. Gets to his feet, kicks the ball. Did he dispose of that one? The umpire said he didn't. They're away then too, Williamstown, 3 points. Next goal wins. Old-fashioned stuff, kids' playground footy. Kick goes up. Mark nearly taken. In fact, he has been taken. Or was it even a free kick? And I'll tell you what, a few of the plays a little ginger, but Nigel O'Neill took some time to elevate his body from that crouch position. He quickly plays on. That's good. And he finds a player much closer to goal. And Freeman has it. I wonder if Freeman's got the distance. He's had a few kicks today, but may not have the journey in his legs. The wind will bring this one. Let's what sort of couple players have shots from here. It's been all to the left. Kick comes on goal. And it's gone exactly where all the other kicks from that left side have gone, either from behind, and a couple have actually gone out of bounds in the full. So it's 4 points. Williamstown kind of hanging on. They had 4 or 5 minutes of football. They scored a goal. Williamstown have had the last 4 or 5 minutes. So it's crucial that they're able to work this one out. Now that's a push. It will be a free kick. So there's this opportunity for Williamstown. The team that finished on top, but only by percentage in the end. It's what obviously been a close season. They just had a couple of bigger victories. They had that booster percentage. Comes up the half forward. Hogarth with a great mark, juggling to the ground. Couldn't quite take it. Is that player legged? It should be a free kick to him. It was incidental contact. Sliding in with his knees. Well, it's gone the other way. Okay, maybe I've got that rule wrong. They look really tired at the moment. Hogarth jumped in the air, took it down. What a mark. Then swings it up towards goal. It's not going to quite get the distance. The wind and the defensive punch. It goes towards the pocket. Players around the football. One goes down, a second goes down, another snap shot on goal. Is it marked? No! Could have easily been paid, not been paid. Now it's towards Lucas. He chips, not a bad option. Tries to find Girardi. He works around, runs to 35, flying shot on goal. Oh, frenetic stuff. The defensive mark's been taken. Well, let's have a look at that. Is that a mark? Maybe not. 50-50 once again. The umpire's been pretty good. Tough one to call. Didn't punch the ball, so I suppose you could say needed to control it. Really punched the hands though, on the arms. Sometimes that has gone the other way, but that rule's kind of been modified as well. 3 to go. You can hear the noise. The rain is tumbling down here. The kick is inaccurate. Williamstown will surge forward again. Edge of your seat stuff here at Casey Fields. Chip goes to the middle. It's not a bad option. Arthur. He chips it further afield. That's a good option as well. The defender needed to come back and try and put some pressure on the attacker. Just whacked out along the ground. Is that a free kick? It should be a free kick. The umpire doesn't pay it. It certainly looked like it went into the back And now they're going to have to hold it up. Gee, that looked like Magetti probably deserved a free kick. You don't see that quite on the replay. Need to go back a little bit more. And I'll tell you what, it's nervous stuff here with 2.5 to go. Horsburgh just on the edge of that one in Osborne. Then he lays the tackle, drags him to the ground. Just got one or two extra players around the ball here, Box Hill North. I can understand there's probably a loose player somewhere, but it just makes it easy just to keep killing the football and neutralising the things. Oh, winning it out like that. Now the kick comes out, the trainer's going to get out of the way. He might have to work to do. That's a massive hit off the football. I think the player's got hit below his chest, so he's okay. He may have made a little bit more than what was necessary, but certainly a free kick. David Kenny has it. Here it is now. Yeah, it didn't look like he got him, maybe just very lightly on the chops. In short, he made plenty of it, but a deserved free kick. So, wow, that's a big moment. That was a 50-50 contest. And that's gone out of bounds on the full. Now the kick goes further up. Box Hill, ball smothered, tackled again. Did he have the football? Little tug of the jumper. The umpire says yes. It is a free kick. So look at the smother in the replay, and then the little tug of the jumper there. Goes up towards half forward, can't be marked. There's a player just running behind the side of this one. What a classic end to this grand final. There's a minute left and there's another whistle. So going to be a free kick here to Williamstown. They're 4 points down. They need to score. They've got 50 seconds. Plenty of time. Wayne, wind. Epic finish. They're really feeling it. There is no time on, so they've got to get this ball back to the player and get it moving again. Deomara still doesn't have the football. It wasted 30 seconds here. He needs to get that ball moving further afield. He goes up forward. It's not a bad option. Chip is up mark. Yes, it is. No, it's not. The umpire didn't pay it. Then he goes to his knees. Couldn't win it. It's been pushed out here again. Williamstown trying to desperately work out a way. The umpire's blown his whistle. No, he hasn't. Falling into the hands of Girardi. Girardi goes again. Kick off the ground. They're out of defence. There's 10 minutes to go. This could be it for Williamstown. Their last opportunity. Box Hill North, they're going to get it. The handball goes further afield. Frenetic stuff. Box Hill North. Is this going to be their day? Is it going to be glory for them? 20 minutes gone. And there it is. The North, the Box Hill variety, have won a heart stopper here at Casey Fields Oval. 30-34. The only goal in the last quarter to Williamstown. They did not score in the last half. There's not a goal in that fact. Box Hill North and Williamstown couldn't come back and win an epic game of football as their players come together, and a wonderful way to finish this over. I keep saying over 45 season. The grand final victors are Box Hill North by 4 points. What a beauty. As you see some of the celebrations as a family and friends. And I reckon St Andrew may be one in the mouth of some of these players at the end of the day, but also on some of these tired and sore bodies. It was nearly in slow motion at the end as they'd put their heart, soul, and every ounce of their aerobic capacity into a great game of football.